Shri Anandamayi Mat ki Jai. From 2 days, we are discussing on the very concept that Ma's body is not made up of 5 elements, and why she came, what was the reason. I want to say we are discussing this all because I want to make it very clear that she is right now with us. See, when a person is born, the body is made up of 5 elements, and due to the nature, one who is born, he has to go back, he or she has to die. The 5 elements goes merge back to the 5. But when Ma, like, she's not born with this 5 elements, it's just a play. It's a leela, we say in Hindi. So there is no, we can say, why will she die? Because if she's not born with the 5 elements, normal body, she will never die. She's there with us, always. And few examples I want to give today. First, my personal experience I am sharing with you. Once it happened, I think it is around 2009, 8 or 9, we planned to go to Switzerland, and we were like doing some kirtan concerts, and I was doing some astrology session also. But it happened like I got really sick. We were living those days in Omkareshwar, and I got so sick that my flight, our ashram people has to postpone it. And my colleague, my Swami, the next brother, he went alone. So my flight was postponed for 2 days. And the evening, I got so sick. The fever was very high, like 106. And it was like the temperature was so high on the head. Towards evening, I could not even see. And from inside, I started calling, Ma, Ma. It was really tough, very challenging situation. The moment when my call was authentic, was real, that Ma, it's really like, now even I cannot see. And I was lying down, I felt sometime in the night, her hand came on my head. It's beyond words, how can I explain this experience? She came and her hand was there on my head. The moment she brought the hand, there was no more pain, no more temperature. I felt like she took all the disease from me. And the whole night I could sleep, but I was feeling continuously that her hand was there. And in the morning when I woke up, I was perfectly fine. No sign of any disease. And the students, my colleagues, all were there, and they wondered, what happened? You were yesterday night so sick when we left you, and now you are perfectly okay. I said, it's Ma. And not only that, next day my flight was there. I went to Switzerland, and there I was doing some sessions on astrology. So for 2 hours they lit a candle. Generally in Europe I have seen the small candles are there, and they lit it, and it lasts like 2.5, 3 hours. I did sessions for 4-5 hours. The candle was there. Then we went for walk, and then eating still. So the the owner of the yoga center called me, Swamiji, what you have done? The candle is still on. What shall we do? So I can say that still, when I left from India to Switzerland, she was there with me. Just to make me feel like, child, don't worry, I am with you. This is Ma. Even this is just like 2009 I am speaking, 8 or 9. Then another instance I can say, we were sometime in England, we were singing, and there was a hall and we were singing, and a lady came and she sat just right in front, and after the program finished, she came to me and said that I was having a lot of problems in my life and I was so much like depressed. I saw a signboard that you all are singing here, so I just was passing by and I just look at it, the signboard, and I came in. And now when I was sitting listening to the kirtan, an Indian lady was sitting next to me, white sari and long hair, and she was playing the cymbals. Where is she? I said, what do you mean? There was no Indian lady, it was all like the English people sitting. She said, no, an Indian lady was sitting next to me. I immediately recognized it was Ma. I took out a picture, I had my Ma's picture, I showed her. She said, yes, this was the lady. So even I have seen those who really call her, she definitely comes. Definitely comes. Her own words, I want to quote here. When she was asked, how you respond? Ma said, from any corner of this universe, if someone remembers this body sees, listen it, and responds. And somebody asks, how you respond? You just had the feeling of someone calling you? She said, no, just like a torch when there is darkness and you bring a torch and look at your things with the torch light. Like this body see particularly that person who is calling this body. These are her own words. She is with us. Another example, I was traveling in France. I met, it was I think Lyon, and this lady who was conducting these workshops, she shared her experience. She said that they were doing some practices in which they have to invoke the masters. So that day she was like really having some strong feeling inside her heart, and she said, "Oh universe, please show me who is my teacher." And then they were doing some practices. So she was waiting and trying to listen who is my teacher, and suddenly a picture showed in front of her eyes. And she said, "Who are you?" The voice came, "Ma." She didn't know, she never met Ma. And then after some days, some of her friend, she brought a book of Ma. And she said, "Yes, this lady, I saw this lady as my teacher." I think 2020 or 21, I think 21, we were in Pune ashram. And there a lady shared her experience. She came to the ashram, there was no one. She came out of a car and her daughter was there, so she said to her daughter, because that daughter was not connected to Ma, she was having some connection with Ma, so she said to her daughter, "You sit in the car and I'm going to Ma's temple, I'll come quickly." So she went to Ma's temple. She had Ma's darshan, Ma's picture was there, and she suddenly saw tears coming out of the picture, Ma's picture. She could not believe her eyes. And then she to make it sure, she went up to bring her daughter also and asked. The daughter also saw the tears in her eyes, in the picture. So that's why I'm from these days sharing that for her, there is no time. For her, there is no body. She's beyond the kal and the time. She's beyond the elements. Whenever, from wherever, if someone calls her, she's there with us. I want to share one more experience of my master, Ashok Baba. He was, when Ma was in the body, I'm sharing this. He was going for Ma's darshan. He was in the bus. He was with his wife. They both were going to the ashram. And they suddenly saw Ma walking towards them. And the bus was going this direction and she was coming towards them. But he tried to stop the bus. He asked the driver to stop. But the driver said, we cannot stop here. The next square, the next stop will stop. So he stopped, but Ma was already gone. She was walking very fast. So they started really running, like trying to find where she has gone. So then they reached a church. There was a church, and then they asked the priest there, did you see some lady with long hair and white sari? Said, yes, yes, Ma Anandamayi. Said, she came to church? The priest said, yes, for several days I was having this deep yearning, this deep want that I want to meet her. I was having some problems in my life, and she came, and I'm feeling blessed. So where she has gone? They said, he said, just go that direction. She went into that street. So they rushed towards that street, and then they saw at somebody's home there was like a lot of people standing outside. So they inquired, so a Muslim house, and then there an old man died. So they asked what happened. So they started sharing that this man was really suffering and it was very difficult to breathe. And then suddenly a lady came and she put her hand on her chest, and he could breathe very smoothly and he could left his body in peace. But we also are looking where she disappeared. So like this, they were looking so many places, and Ma went wherever there was a call, there was a yearning, she was there. And then they, after long, they just went back to ashram, and they were wondering, like, Ma has went to so many places today. But when they reached ashram, they saw Ma sitting there and the disciples were there. So they asked, has Ma gone to many places today? They said, no, Ma is sitting here since morning. See, that's what I want to share. That in this life, we are born alone. And when we return, when this body will die, we are alone. The truth is, if we have this deep connection with Ma, with God, with divinity, then we have this shelter. And we really can move towards that divinity. And when we have such Rajeshwari, the queen of this universe, the Jagajanni, the mother of this universe with us, and she has not gone, she is with us. Why to fear? So this is an attempt to remember her, to bring her to our heart. Jai Ma.